Hey, welcome to Mary Welter Radio, the podcast. Let me turn that music down for you. I don't know why it puts up that weird background thing first before it brings me up, but it does. Anyway, welcome. Hi. I hope everybody had a great weekend. So my guest is sick. So is his kid. So, kids are like little petri dishes. They bring stuff home. So anyway, it's us tonight. We haven't done one of these in a long time. We have not done it just us. And for everyone over on Rumble, you've never seen us do a just us. You've never been here for one of those. So you're invited to, let's just throw the topics out there. You're welcome to do that. We'll talk about them. Really want to hear what you guys have to say. So, Carter is here over on Rumble. Hey, Carts. Everybody's here. Portrait Farm is here, and Mangle's here, and Yitzhak's here, watching your back, and Sue's, and Bill, and Rebecca, and I hope I didn't leave anybody out, but thank you so much. Which reminds me, to the Wendy Bell Radio Army, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for your support over on Rumble. You're incredible. I really love you guys. Thank you to everyone who's been subscribing to both Rumble and YouTube. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Really, it means a lot. So thank you. Like I said, so there's some loyal people over on Rumble. We're still trying to get that off the ground, but thank you for to the Wendy Bell Army, because I know a lot of that is people from Wendy Bell. Speaking of which, I will be in for Wendy next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I won't be in Thursday, Friday because I leave for Israel on Saturday and I need like 2 days to get it together. So, yeah, I have 2 days to get it together. I need 2 days to get it together because I don't I'm going with Newsmax, which is super cool. Uh, and I'm super excited about it. And so far, the only thing I know is to bring comfortable walking shoes. We're going to do a lot of walking. Bring a big hat because we're going to be outside. So bring a hat. Um, Bring a business outfit to go to the Knesset, a business outfit to go to meet the president at the presidential office. That's like business. They requested business. And then we're going to like a welcome cocktail party. So cocktail attire. So, but the rest of it, I have no idea. I have no clue. Are we going to be wandering around ruins? Are we going to be like touring? What are we going to be doing? I don't know. Because it's only like 10 days away. So why would people be thinking about telling us now? Like, right? Like, I have no clue what we're doing. No idea. So next Tuesday, on Tuesday, there'll be a podcast. The next 2 Tuesdays, there will not, because when I'm done, when the official Newsmax trip is over on the 15th, hubby's coming over and we're going to spend a week. So I will be coming back later. So I'll be gone for 2 Tuesdays. Now, I would do a podcast, but with the time difference, it'll be 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:15 to be exact. So while I love you, I don't love you that much. If that makes sense. I love you, but not that much. So, okay, just wrapping up the business here. So many of you are wonderful. Really appreciate the comments and thank you for being here. So the rest of this week, I'm in for Rob Carson. He's with Newsmax Radio from noon to 3 p.m. Eastern time, and it's national, so you may be able to find it near you. And but if not, you can look on TuneIn for which the TuneIn app. Look for WCBM Charlie Boy Mary. WCBM, or just go online and you can listen to WCBM.com. That is his flagship station. So you can listen to him there. So that's tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday from 9 a.m. to noon. Then next week on Monday, I start filling in for Wendy. So I'm in for Wendy Bell. I love the Wendy Bell audience. I'm in for Wendy Bell. And I love Brock. I get to work with Brock and he just cracks me up. So, but that'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern time. Monday, then I have the Chris Salcedo show on Newsmax TV between 4 and 5 o'clock. And then Tuesday will be the last podcast before I go away. And like I said, I love you, but I'm not going to do the podcast at 2:15 in the morning. Sorry. All right. Lots of people weighing in over on Twitter. John Bulfari says, I'm so happy Brock talked you into it. Oh, look, he's got the Wendy Bell Radio logo. Awesome. That's so cool. Yeah, Wendy. Oh, who's private chatting me? Oh, the IT department told me I need to bring my own flak jacket. Thank you. Yeah, something like, they didn't tell us this, but I read about it that, since we're supposed to go to the border with the IDF, which I don't know if we're gonna do, but we're supposed to. I don't know. And we're going to the embassy with my Huckabee. So you know what I did? I ordered a bottle of Relaxium to bring with me as a present. He's inviting us to the embassy, so I kind of figure, all right, so I got to bring something. You can't walk in empty-handed. So I'm getting a bottle of relaxing. That stuff's not cheap, by the way. That stuff is not inexpensive, but I don't know if you can get it in Israel. So I got him a bottle of relaxing because I'm a dork. I love it. Porch view. Will we get a presentation? Maybe when I get back. I'm going to be stuck on stupid for a couple of days when we get back. But when we get back, I'm in for, so I come back on Thursday. I'll be home Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, which is what is Monday? Monday is the 25th and 26th and 27th. I'm in for David Webb on Sirius Patriot from 9 a.m. to noon. And then Monday, back on with Chris Salcedo, Tuesday, the podcast. So maybe I can put it together over the weekend and I can show you pictures because I have a nice floppy, like I have a floppy straw hat because I don't look good in hats. I really don't because I have like a weird shaped head. So I don't look good in hats. I wish I did. I don't. And then I have like my husband made me buy like one of those, like those ugly safari hat things. So he said for when we tour, I can wear that. And may I just say, so I had to get like boots here, and hold on, I'll bring him in because the IT department's going to join me because he has a story to tell. Sugar Valley Carolyn says, "I knew you from when you subbed for Wendy." Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you so much for being here, and again, thank you for all the subscribers. Stag, if thought bubbles appeared above my head, I'd be screwed. Wouldn't we all? Wouldn't we all? Yitzhak says hat, knapsack, sandals, lots of short socks, good sneakers, towels for when you hit the Dead Sea. I don't know if we're going to make it to the Dead Sea. There's so much to see in Jerusalem where we're staying. 2 in the morning might make for quite the podcast. Yes. Suze is back. You may just be in a bar at 2:15 a.m. Do a drunk cast. I don't know. We're staying at the King David. That the Israeli government's putting us up in the King David, which is really nice. So I would think they would frown on that. That's just me. Had some plain yogurt with protein. Okay, they're discussing their food. Okay, so I'm going to bring the IT department in. I'm going to unmute you. Hello. Unmute yourself.
Hello.
There you go. Hello. So I had to buy walking shoes or like hiking walking shoes. I have to tell you, like, so I would go to DSW because where the hell is she going to go for shoes now? Although we do have a Boscov's, which is pretty good. I love my Boscov's. If you don't know what it is, it's like an old-timey department store. And like you think only old people shop there, which is probably why I love it. Because I'm old now. But I really like it. I think they have good stuff and they have good discounts. So anyway, and we'll get to some topics, but maybe people will want to comment on this because well, not this, but if you want to, you can. So I go last week to DSW because I have a lot of time to do any shopping because I'm working like every day. So I go to work, look for like some hiking, walking shoes. All of them look like I borrowed them from my wife and I drove my Subaru to get there. You know what I mean? Like I'm wearing a flannel shirt. That's what they look like. Women's hiking shoes, walking shoes are so unbelievably ugly. And the men have these shoes that just look like souped up sneakers that look really nice. But women's look, again, like I borrowed them from my wife. That's what they look like. It's totally not fair. But
We got you a nice here. You want me to show him your pair? They're right here.
Sure.
Okay, I'll be back.
Okay. Sneakers, walking shoes will be hot and heavy. Yitzhak, I was told walking shoes. And then my husband, he echoed that. He's like, you need a good sturdy sole because there's a lot of cobblestones and there's going to be, sand and dirt and blah, 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 blah. So you need walking shoes. Now, I have to tell you, the temperature right now in Jerusalem is less than it is in New Jersey. It's cooler in Jerusalem, in Israel, in the desert, in the Middle East than it is in New Jersey right now. So go ahead, show my shoes. They're not terrible. Not great. They're not great, but they're not Totally awful. They're better than the last pair that I bought. I bought one pair and exchanged them.
And a fair soul. See, who was just complaining? Who's saying you need a light sneaker? Was that?
A guy named Yitzhak, so he's been there.
Okay,
I think he knows
we
better
got to
than
give
you.
him. He gets some street cred, but she's klutzy. She's going to trip over all the cobblestones in the 4,000 year. She's going to break a lot of stuff that's 4,000 years old.
I am kind of klutzy. I do. Well, that's why we got evac insurance and medical insurance, because the odds of me hurting myself are pretty good. So there's that. So, all right. So we will talk about a bunch of different stuff, throw them up there, but I want to start out. Can we talk about customer service? Can we start with that? We don't have to talk about politics. We can talk politics, anything you want, because this show is just us. Okay. The IT department, me, and you guys. So, whatever you guys, we'll throw it out there. Oh, listen, look what Yitzhak said. She may have to run fast.
We were told when we hear the sirens, just follow everybody else.
Right. But see, here's my problem is I've seen pictures of when they go down into like the underground shelters and you just follow everybody. I'm really claustrophobic. So I think I'm just going to be that one person out in the middle of the square taking my chances. Because if you have to go down to that place and there's a lot of people in there, they're breathing my air, and I'm going to flip the F out and just walk on people's heads to get out of there.
Prince Valium can go with you.
What, are you going to pop one in me as soon as the siren goes off? That's not going to work fast enough.
No, I'm going to hit you with a Valium blow dart.
Fine. Gregory says, nice and knobby soles. Too bad they're not Vibram. I don't want to wear I don't want to wear shoes that have knobby soles.
Too aggressive.
I'm one step away from just wearing my husband's flannel shirts. Yitzhak, follow everybody. It's a party, music, games, conversation. Unless there's alcohol, it is not going to go over well with me. But we can video that and we can play that on the next podcast after the last one. So, okay, so let me get into it. I don't want to bore anybody. All right, so let's talk about customer service Porch View says 5 milligrams of Xanax. I don't know. I've never had Xanax. I don't know. We better work on something, a prescription if we're taking something, by the way. Because he can't prescribe it for me. I got to get another doctor to prescribe for me. So we fly United because we got a lot of miles on United. And I know people are like, oh, you can't fly United. You have to go over there with, you got to go over with, how's this goes? With El Al and blah, 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 blah. And we were going to do that. But we were supposed to go to Montana in February to go skiing, and we didn't go. So we canceled that trip. Do we make those reservations or do we not make them?
What do you mean?
For next year? We were supposed to go skiing and then didn't go this year. Oh, yeah. We made the skiing reservations and canceled.
Right. That was the credit.
Then we made the reservations where we were supposed to go out for that little problem we were going to resolve.
Right.
And we canceled that too. So that's 2 canceled trips, right?
Right.
And did we get the credits for both of them or none of them or what?
No, we got credit for the first one that we used when we booked the first time we wanted to go to Israel.
So we booked the trip in June to go to Israel because that's when we were supposed to go. We used the miles from the first trip to Montana to that trip.
Right.
All of that got refunded because they weren't allowed to fly into Israel, and that was that. So all of that got credited back to us, correct?
Correct. So that was gone. That was washed.
All right.
Yeah.
Then go ahead.
Well, no, then you had some other flight credits and we had to book your flight. So we did those flight. We used your flight credits. Now I'm trying to book my flight, and going back for the listeners who are regulars, you remember I went to Ghana, to Africa on a medical mission, and I had to change my flight back for a number of reasons. And I ended up not flying back on United. I had a round trip on United, and I ended up flying back on a different carrier, and I had to change my itinerary, and I got some flight credit for that. So when I go to book my flight to Israel, I go down, I expect to see that flight credit there. It's not there. So I say,
there you go.
And I go, and as my bride would say, and we're off.
And we're off.
So I call call the customer service number, and I have the itinerary number. I give it to them, and they go, "Oh no, that ticket was used. It was a one-way ticket to Ghana." And I said, "Well, no, that was the modified ticket. The original ticket was round trip, and I had to change it." And they said, "Oh no, it was just a one-way ticket." And I said, "Well, I have the original itinerary that shows a round trip. I've got a credit card that is for a round trip ticket purchase, and I have an itinerary for the one-way flight that's less. So, it's pretty clear you can follow the chain." They said, "Oh no, it's a one-way flight." So I say, "Fine, I need to talk to your supervisor." Get to the supervisor. Supervisor's very nice. She's typing away. I mean, now we've been on the phone 40 minutes with people. She comes back. She goes, "Okay, I was able to see you definitely canceled your return flight." She goes, "Okay." I said, "Great. Can I have my flight credit?" She goes, "Well, I can't see what it is, so I can't refund it." And I said, "Okay, what do I need to do?" And she said,
And we're off.
You have to talk to you have to email, because you cannot talk directly to the man behind the curtain. Okay. So
And customer care.
you have to go to customer care. Now, she led me on a little bit. She goes, "This is what you do. Fill out the form for customer care. It's pretty simple. Once you get a case number, you call us back and say, 'I need to talk to customer care. I have a case number. Here's a case number.'" So I get the case number, and they say, "It may take 7 days for us to respond. Be patient. We want you to have the best experience with us." So the next day, I call the 800 number back, and I say, "I have a case number. I was told to call, and you'll connect me to customer care." And the woman goes, "Oh no one talks to customer care." I'm like, what does that mean? No. They're a back room They're a back room group. No one can talk to them. I go, "Can you talk to them?" She goes, No, I can't. My supervisor sometimes can, but really we can only email them." And I said, "Okay." So I can't do anything. That was another half an hour on the phone. Next day, I get an email from customer care saying, "Thank you for your submission. And we reviewed it. And we see that you had a one-way ticket that you used." So I said, and thank goodness they said, they didn't say anything. They had an email. So I'm like, I can respond to this email. I wrote a 2-page letter itemizing everything. I submitted 8 documents with it. I've got credit card statements. I've got itineraries, all this stuff. And I send it to him. And at the end, I say, "I'm looking to book another flight in the near future. So if this could be expedited, I'd appreciate it." So I submit it. The next day, I get an email back. "Thank you for all the additional information. Since this has to do with a future flight, please call the 800 number." So I say, "Okay." Now I'm thinking maybe I have the password to get into the speakeasy. So I call the 800 number, and I tell them the story. I give them my case number, which actually literally is a 16-digit number. And the woman kind of laughs and says, "Yeah, we can't do anything for you." So I'm like, "Well, let me talk to your supervisor." And the supervisor says, "Oh no," she goes, "Just email them back and explain to them, no, it's for the credit." And I said, "Well, the email says I cannot respond to this email because it's not monitored." She goes, "Oh no, that's not true. You can respond to it." So I say, "Fine." So I go and I tell them I called as above. I called your 800 number, and I talked to them, and they said that I should respond to this. What?
Would it be insulting to you if I played Alice's Restaurant under this story?
Oh my gosh, Mira, I was just thinking before, I'm like, is it 27 8x10 color glossy photos with circles and arrows in the packer and a picture on the back of each one explaining it? Yes. So I'm like,
So you
okay,
go,
good. I'll respond back to the case.
it's only an hour show. Let's go.
Okay. And I respond back to them almost immediately. I get an email from them. "Thank you for your email, but you're referring to a case ID that has been closed."
So bottom line is, They keep closing it. They keep telling you it's over and they keep closing you. And you had one woman tell you yesterday that what was the person's name? Karoom in customer care?
Yeah. Well, no. She's one of the people behind the curtain. I can't talk to her. We can only email each
But
other.
she was going to make you an offer. And you're like,
Oh,
I don't want an offer. I just want my credit. I don't want an offer. I just want my credit.
oh,
And I'm
that's
like,
right.
well, you never know what kind of offer you're going to get. Maybe it's an offer you can't refuse. Bottom line, no offer. Just an email from Karoom or whatever her name is, or his name is, whatever. I don't even know if that's it. It's like Haboob or whatever. No offer. Just your case is closed. If you have any more questions, call the 800 number.
So I submitted the whole thing again, got a new case ID number, and now we're waiting. And in the midst of this, when I was talking to one of the customer service people, all of a sudden I got a whole bunch of emails from United with all the itineraries that we've had, all the flights we've done. And in the midst of this, I realized we had this other flight to Montana that we had to cancel, that we should have had another flight credit, and it doesn't even exist. So I have enough we have enough flight credit with United. If they were to give it to us, I think it would bankrupt them. We'd fly for the rest of our lives for free.
That's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
So here's a question for all your listeners and people watching.
Yitzhak's a lawyer, and a shock to no one, fulfilling the stereotypes. Yitzhak's a lawyer.
Okay. So I think we should have people chime in, because in the midst of all this, Mary looks at me. We're sitting at our two computers. She looks at me. She goes, "Do I need to go on X?" And I said, "I think you might need to go on X, like hashtag United Airlines." Now, I had her hold off a little bit.
You don't have to hashtag. You can @ United Airlines.
Okay. How much do I know about X?
Zip.
Okay. So I told her not to go scorched earth yet, but I think it's time to go scorched earth. So would that be a good thing for everybody watching to put in their 2 cents on?
Yeah, then they can follow it all on X. All right, let's see what people say. Going back to the shoes, Jamie says, I have flat foot. I have G-Defy shoes, and I like them better for my whole body. I've seen those advertised.
Yeah.
I've seen those advertised. I don't think that's what they're talking about when they said a good sturdy shoe for walking,
Well, we both got shoes from the same manufacturer. And actually, I think yours are better looking than mine. But they have very good support, very good instep, and a nice padding in the heel.
Very good in stuff. Gregory says I should bring a flask everywhere. Yitzhak says I need to get Percocet for my shoulder. Percocets do nothing for me. When a doctor's going to prescribe Percocet, I'm like, don't even bother. I'll take St. Joseph's aspirin for children. I don't bother with Percocet. Manglemush says a bottle of booze cures claustrophobia. Not fast enough. Hermit Sal says blow darts build character and discipline.
35 years of marriage.
Yitzhak says we should have gone El Al. You get to sit next to Hasidim, and then they asked the women to move. I almost got into a fist fight when some black cat requested my daughter moved. He did. We did not. Doug, would I move?
Oh man. I think there would be a multitude of federal offenses occurring.
I'm usually bigger than most of them, so I'm okay. Yitzhak also says, coming into Ben Gurion, my son did the install on the new radar system. He's the PM for these. Excellent job. You're welcome. Oh, nice. You should put me in touch with your son, right? While we're over there?
Yeah.
Why not? Show us around. Gregory, if you use the name Eddie Money, you can get 2 tickets to paradise. Now Tax USA said better to late than never. Vacation delays. Yitzhak says I get a customer service response like that. I call legal and talk lawyer to law firm. Usually does the trick. Privilege. Could you do that for us, Yitzhak? Would you mind if I call in? Why, if I can't use my friends that way, why not? Billy Joel reference, Porch View. This is why you message the CEO on LinkedIn. Oh. Did you keep a chronological thing like I asked you to?
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's so much easier than going with the big, story that doesn't end. They won't get bored. Herman Sal says, Yitzhak, I seem to recall a few years ago some Orthodox Jews marching with Palestinians. I heard that there's a sect of the Orthodox who believe that Israel shouldn't exist on religious reasons. That wasn't a few years ago. That was like 6 months ago. Yeah, I saw that in New York. Yitzhak, Richard, your story, that's a setup for murder. Remember falling down with Michael Douglas? This computer crap, email, no accountability. I'm sick and tired of not going to take it anymore. LOL. Mangelmush says, great movie. Sugar Valley Carolyn says, what a mess. I'm so sorry. Time wasted. And we still don't have the credits. Yitzhak says, yes, go scorched earth. It's proper. Look who's here.
Oh, Evie, hey.
Evie's the one who does all the graphics for the show. Evie does them all. So this is the infamous Evie that I've been talking about. And it's his son, Zach, is the reason why I go by the Queen. So look at Evie taking the mask off. Hi, Zach. Thank you, Evie. Glad you're here. Yitzhak said Percocets, E3. Mangelmush, I'm a hillbilly. I'll walk barefoot almost anywhere. And Sue says the same. Herman Sal said, recently I had to replace my damaged cell phone. It took my carrier's staff several hours to activate it. My carrier supportive service actually gave them the runaround. Not very supportive. You know what the thing is you can't talk to anybody anymore. But you can't, like when I was having a problem with, I guess it was Facebook. I think it was Facebook. And remember I was having problems. I couldn't get into my account and all this stuff. You can't talk to anyone. There's literally no way to resolve it. The best you could do is like shut it down and just open up another account and start from the beginning because there's no recourse. There's no way to talk to anybody. But they owe us like several $1,000s. So in flight credits. So I think that we'll have that fight. Don't we know any good lawyers who could do this for us?
You got all the connections.
Oh, great. EB says, Zach is smiling. I saw the IT department and had to say hello.
Hey, EB.
Watching Your Back says, soon AI will replace customer service. It already has. It already has. You just have the chat and it's a bot and it flat out tells you it's a bot. I just went through it because I have to order clothes to go to Israel because they don't know what to wear. I don't know what to bring. So I had to order I ordered some clothes and I'm going to have like 14 dresses and 16 pairs of shoes and way too much of everything and probably not enough of the right stuff. And I had a question about sizing because when you order it and it only goes, I only have so much time to get it. I have to make sure the size is right. And so, you go on and you look to see, is it true to size? Is it too big? Is it too small? And I had a question because it said I needed a small, but I'm like, oh, that doesn't seem right. So, but they are vanity sizing everything now, what used to be a medium is now a small, same thing. So it make people feel better. So I had to chat and it says our bot and they give the bot like a name, like Barbie, whatever. And they have the bot and I'm having this conversation and I got literally nowhere because if you don't ask it like a simple question, you don't get an answer. That's the problem. You can't get anything where it requires human interaction or thought. You're just getting nowhere. And it's so frustrating. Watching Your Back says, this is how we get Skynet. What's Skynet? Do you know what Skynet is?
Well, isn't well, isn't that what's his name's thing?
Musk?
Yeah. Oh no, that's Skylink. Sorry.
Skylink. Yeah, I don't know. Porchby Farm says, as a recruiter, LinkedIn gets it done. Message the personal account. I'm gonna do that if I can do that, Porchby. Thank you. I'll let you know on Tuesday, next Tuesday, how it turns out. Several grand. Why not? Yeah, Yitzhak, you want to do it? EB says, this all started with self-checkout that I loathe, and it's been downhill from there for humanity. Oh. So true. Go ahead. No. What do we fight over all the time? What do we fight over every time we go to a store?
She will not. Well, when will you use self-checkout?
I have to use it at Aldi because they never have a checker.
No, you say you'll use it after they give you health
Oh, I'll use
insurance.
self-checkout. I have actually gone to the person who they pay to stand there and watch you do the job that no one hired me to do. But now I have a boss. I have an overseer to make sure I have a manager to make sure I'm doing my job properly. But I'm not getting paid. I will go up to that person every single time and go, hey, I was curious, is there an employee handbook? And they're just looking at me and going like, well, you're watching me do the job. I'm just curious as to how many vacation days I get, when the Christmas party is, etc. They find no humor in that at all. I have never once somebody like smiled and goes, I get it. We don't like it either. But I think you're going to start to see them go away because people steal so much stuff
Yeah,
that you're going
well,
to see
Target, I think, right? Didn't Target's
Target.
ending all of theirs?
Yeah, because people are stealing so much. And I'm like, good, serves you right for being cheap.
Yeah.
They listen, they know what they need for overhead, right? They for the electric, for the rent, for the insurance, for payroll, all that stuff. That is built into the price of the product. And they're saving it by making us do a job in the store. I,
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, if I fall on fire and for workman's comp, I work
I
here.
think they probably calculated and said, we know there's going to be more theft, but that theft is going to be less expensive than paying employees. But that turned out, I know all the time when I went into the Target by us a couple of times when they still had to check out when I was getting ready to go to Ghana. Every time I walk up to one of the registers, there were things listed on it that weren't paid for. And there wasn't like somebody started scanning stuff and then left it there and walked away. They started scanning stuff and probably, they probably do this thing. They have two people. One person asks a question and the minder goes
Right.
over there. This guy stops scanning, throws the stuff in his bag and walks out.
Right. Yeah, I get caught. I
Yeah.
don't have it in me to do that. I don't. But I do it at all, and I hate the scanner at Aldi because first of all, it's always dirty. It's dirty because it's food and produce and it's dirty and I don't want to it's gross. But she's really loud and she yells. And she yells, scan the next item. I'm like, and I yell back at her because if you're yelling at me, I'm sorry, but I'm not getting paid to do this. So you can't yell at me. And she'll scan the next item, please. Scan the next item, please. I'm like, I'm getting the next item because there's only a teeny tiny little space for you to put your stuff when you offload it. So I had to put the stuff in my bag. Then when I go to check it out, I had to take it out of the bag onto the checkout thing and put it there. Then I got to put it over here. And then I got to put everything back in my bag again. It's not a very efficient system at all. Gregory wants to know if I'm bringing a steamer trunk. I don't know.
She's bringing a Sherpa, me.
You're not coming over with me. I got to do that on my own.
Mary, we already decided I'm going to bring your relief suitcase. You're going to go over with 2 suitcases and a couple carry-on bags, and I'm going to come over with 2 suitcases. All my clothes are going to be in my carry-on bag, and those other 2 suitcases are going to be your shoes.
I know I had to bring, men are so lucky. Men can wear the same shoes. And right, ladies, men have those, they look like dress shoes, but they have that white sole and they're super comfy like sneakers. I got to bring heels, flats, sandals, boots, hiking shoes, this, that, the other thing. I have to have, I can't get away with just one pair of shoes for every outfit. That's not working. So it's so not fair. And men can bring a pair of, because it's 6 days with the job with Newsmax. A man could bring a pair of tan pants, a pair of like blue or black pants, two shirts, right? Just 2 shirts, 2 or 3 ties, switch them up and they're done, and wear the same pair of shoes the whole time. That's it. They could get away with a carry-on bag. It's not fair at all. Just saying. Stag says, just a friendly reminder that there's an entire generation of people that feel and will continue to feel that the 1980s were 20 years ago. Correcting them with logic or math is mean and unkind. That's good. Sal, I did see that months ago too, but I do recall seeing the same thing a few years ago, unless I drifted through time again. Too many blow dart chemicals for me, I guess. And he's talking about seeing the Jews who were for Palestine. Jews for Palestine. Yeah, we all saw that. It's like chickens, what is it? Chickens for Chick-fil-A. Come on. Yitzhak. Israel, better rates of exchange if you use local banks, etc. I don't even know. I asked twice if I need to change my money. Like, do I need to get shekels somewhere at a Bank of America in my little area in New Jersey? And nobody's gotten back to me. Nobody's told me if I need those or if I can just use dollars and my credit card. Nobody's told me anything. And if you buy and pay the VAT tax, you apply at the airport for a refund. You are not a citizen of Israel. Remember to get back the VAT. Ooh, get back the VAT.
We did that when we were in England, Mayor.
Look who it is. Is this Brock? Is this the Brock from Wendy Bell Show? Oh my gosh, the Wendy Bell Army. Brock is with us. I'm getting him on the podcast. He's on my list. Brock is on my list of people to get on the podcast. He's, you know what? Because I'm working with him Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. And Brock, I love you. Thank you so much because the Wendy Bell Army has been amazing in supporting me on Rumble. So, you know, I love you, Brock. You know where he lives, Doug? He lives out by Zillionople. He lived in Zillionople, I want to say.
Yeah. Really?
Yes.
So now we know two people.
I know, from Zillionople. And look what he says. She won't even pump her own gas. You're damn right I won't. One thing I don't have to do. I don't have to pump my gas. See, so why do I have to check out my own damn groceries?
Brock, man, I think you're going to get the 3-day COVID starting Monday.
Yitzhak says, I do not use self-checkout. I use the paid employees. Thank you. Stag, Brockstar, yes. Yitzhak, at Publix, we have baggers, and they will drive your cart to your car and help you put the bags in the car. Wow. We don't have that, but they do pump our gas for us here. And if you go often enough to the same place and there's like nobody there, they'll wash your windows for you.
It helps to be a cute blonde girl.
Hold on. Last time we had our windows washed, who was driving?
Yeah, you were in the passenger seat.
You. Oh, don't even try it. You were
come
driving.
On. He was on to you. He was cute and very nice, but he wanted to talk to you.
You just didn't want to. You just didn't want to admit that. Maybe he was hitting on you a little bit. Let's see. My Manglemush, my shady cousin got busted ringing up lobster tail as bananas. You can even do that? I don't even know you could do that. I just scan and go, scan and go, scan and go. Pick out head of lettuce. Let's go. That's it. I stick to the basics.
No, if you go like at Aldi, everything is barcoded. But like if you go to ShopRite, if you put in apples, you got to put the apples on the scale, and then you have to find the little sticker, and there's a little three or four digit number.
Is there training? Did I miss the training class for this? Was there a memo?
Well, that's why you're not getting paid, apparently, because you missed training.
That's, that happens. I didn't register. Porch View, I use the paid employees, plus I find out how our favorite cashiers are. That was my grandfather, God rest his soul. My grandfather, Charlie, my best friend, my bestie. He would drive when he was still driving. He was only allowed to drive on the mountain because it was a straight road all the way. Our grocery store was like a 20-minute ride. That's a road. And he would drive, and he would be the first in line before they opened it. Like, what did they open, Doug? At like 6:30?
Yeah, 6:30. Yeah.
6:30. My grandfather would be there with his cart, waiting for them to open. And he'd be the first one in the door. And they would make such a big deal out of him. He didn't need anything, but he would go and he'd talk to everybody and he'd walk around the store and maybe buy some apples, whatever, and then come home. It made his day. He went every single day.
Your mother made a fake list for him.
Oh, I'm sorry?
I said your mother would make a fake list up for him.
List. Yeah, she would, so he could go and get it. Yeah. And they'd help him and everything. Skechers, I heard they're really bad for your feet. Portuguese says I wear Skechers. I heard they're really bad. My podiatric surgeon, since I've broken both my feet and I've had 3 surgeries on my feet, has me wearing New Balance everywhere. He said, that's it, New Balance. And since I don't want a 4th surgery, I listen to what he has to say. What do the images of crowns with numbers next to our name mean? I don't know because I don't see the crowns. It means that you got a crown. That's what it means. Sal is number 1. I don't know. I don't see the crowns. Kate says, that's the whole population of Zillionople, I think. I couldn't believe it. The first time I was talking to him, I'm like, wait, Zillionople, we have a really, really good friend who's from Zillionople. I didn't know anybody else lived there. She got out. I have no idea what this means. Yitzhak, I have no clue what the hell you're talking about here. I don't know what that means. Why is it illegal? Why was it illegal to pump your own gas in New Jersey? What is this? It still is. It not even was. We are the last state. Something in like 1940 something, they decided you couldn't pump your own gas. Well, listen, I was at physical therapy and I think I showed you guys the pictures. I did. So if you missed it, I was at physical therapy one of my last times there. And somebody goes, "Oh my gosh," because the lights went, "Whoop," and somebody goes, "Oh my gosh, look across the street." And we look across the street and there's a catty corner. There's a gas station and there's a Lamborghini in flames, like flames. Woo! The gas station that pumps gone. I mean, the Lamborghini was reduced to literally just goop. It was horrible. That's why people aren't allowed to pump their own gas in New Jersey because of fires. Now, I don't know if he got out and pumped his own gas. I do not know because they will yell at you. Some places won't, but a lot of places will tell you to get back in the car and you can't pump your own gas. And that is why. And you know what? Not pumping your own gas is great. I don't have to get out of the car when it's hot. I don't have to get out of the car when it's really cold. I don't have to get out of the car when it's raining. I can get gas at 2 o'clock in the morning at a gas station and not worry about my safety. I don't have to worry about a scanner on the pump to like take my credit card number. It's overall much safer because, like I said, I never have to get out of my car, so I don't have to worry about it. So, and it's usually cheaper than gas in New York and New Jersey. So, bonus. Sometimes we forget that waking up each day is the first thing we should be grateful for. Click the Rumble thumbs up if you woke up this morning. Thank you, Stag. Yitzhak, my mom always conversed with the checkout people. Now I do. We know each other now. It's quite a thing to do in the nasty world of late. Everyone online quips with everyone else. Smiles are up. That is nice. Brock, Mary won't pump her own gas in other states. True. This is true, Brock. You can turn off the crown, Sal. Click on the crown at the top and it will walk you through it. I hated it. That's probably because Mango Mush wasn't a top number. Poor True. When I got out of the hospital in October, our cashier people were there for us. They're great people. Oh, that's good. Do they make you turn the engine off if you leave it running? They used to, but they don't say anything anymore, do they?
No, they're supposed to.
I turn it off just out of habit. I turn it off just
Why
out of
waste
habit
the
'cause that's
gas?
what I do. What?
Why waste the gas?
There you go.
Why does it need to run?
That's why our air conditioning set at 78 during the day and 76 at night. Why waste the money?
Little sweating's good for you. Toughens you up.
Evie says, do what you're saying is the corporations that use self-checkout employees should talk to the gas companies in Jersey about customer service? Yes. Yes. And they should also United should talk to them as well. By the way, Porch View, I'm going to do that and I'll let you guys know on Tuesday what happens. All right. Sal's going to leave it. Okay. All right. So is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Because we brought up the whole customer service thing. Anybody else want to bring anything else up? Because I did have something. So if nobody else wants to bring anything else up, here's what I wanted to bring this up. So I don't know if you were listening to me when I was on for Rob Carson earlier this week. And shame on you if you weren't. Yitzhak says 74 degrees all the time. I pay the extra $20 a month. Jersey is so expensive. It's crazy. It's getting really expensive here. So I'm just trying to light on. Can't see. Hold on. Okay. Okay. I can't see. Oh, is that better? Oh, all right. Well, I got to do this now. Okay. Anyway, so the Democrats have gotten the lowest ranking from voters in 35 years. Like they're doing terribly, they're doing horribly, and I understand why, right? But I never underestimate them because they're going to figure it out eventually. But what I don't understand is that voters gave President Trump or the Republican Party less favorable ratings this time around. Trump was rated 7 points less favorably than he was last time, and 11 points for the Republican Party. Only 8% of voters view the Democrats very favorably, compared with 19% that show a level of enthusiasm for the GOP. So here's the thing, like I get that, people may not show the same level of enthusiasm. It would be different between Trump and the GOP because I don't think Trump is the GOP. I tell you all the time, I'm not a registered Republican. So because I don't sign up for a team that doesn't come to play. That's just me. I'm not, you guys don't want to play. I'm not giving you my money. I'm not signing up for your team. It's not happening. But I support Trump. And I want to see the Republican Party go more MAGA. But I guess why are his numbers dropping? What is happening? Today on the show, I played a piece from Harry Enton that shows among independents, Trump's down like 42 points on inflation, which inflation is down. Gas prices are down. Grocery prices are down. So what is happening? Does anybody know where the disconnect is? Because I can't figure it out. Overall, on the whole, though, voters disapprove of Trump's handling on the economy, inflation, tariffs, and foreign policy. He got peace between India and Pakistan, peace between Cambodia and Thailand. He's working on peace between Ukraine and Russia. He got the ceasefire with Iran and Israel. What's wrong with his foreign policy? So are they just ignorant? Do they not know it? Is it the news that they're listening to? But this is independents who went for Trump in the election. What does he have to do to get these people back? I don't understand what the disconnect is. And I was talking about that today, or was yesterday on the air, and maybe some today as well, because I don't understand it. I don't get it. I just don't get it. So maybe you can tell me what is going on. And I have something else. Do you have IT department? If you want to chime in, I know this isn't something you're here for, but you're fine if you want to chime in. No.
What? No, I
Did I wake you up?
No, I was letting you finish. I didn't know if you wanted me to chime in. I think I want to see, as someone said, remember we heard someone saying, well, I was trained as a scientist. I'm a scientist. It's like when something doesn't pass the smell test, before you jump on it, you got to go back and see, look at the validation of the study. Everyone's saying who did the poll?
I think it's Gallup.
Gallup did the poll. One, simple thing is make sure Gallup really did the poll, and and maybe say, if I was in the polling business, I'd want to redo the poll and see if validate it. That's all we're asking. Do it a second time, because those numbers are not even close. It's the first time I've seen that crazy guy on CNN get all excited for something for the Democrats. Every other time yeah. So I think you need validation on that, because that's as we say, that's an outlier.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. Let's see. Regarding the crown, Manglemush says, well, I was number one all the time. I didn't like the crown because I don't believe in royalty. Hello, American here. That's right. Sound says, where I live, a lady tried to pump her own gas. She pressed the handle before putting the nozzle in the gas tank opening. See, that's why. I will tell you though, when people see, when I was going back and forth between New Jersey and DC with the gas thing, if I had to get gas where I had to pump it myself, I knew exactly how to play it every time. Get out of the car, go up to the pump, and I would read exactly what the directions are. And I'd start to do it 9 times out of 10. Someone would go, do you want me to do that for you? They just see the Jersey plates. If you're on the East Coast, you see the Jersey plates, you know that the path of least resistance is to just do it for me. Because if you don't do it for me, it's going to be a thing. Because I have to follow the directions, because I don't know. And some places you have to go in and pay first, which I think is weird, because I don't know how much gas it's going to, how do I know how much gas it's going to take? I have no idea. The little man fills it up. I don't know. So I don't know how much gas goes in my car, like how many gallons or how many dollars worth. I have no idea. How would I do that? Do I go in and go $20 on pump 2 and then go outside and then I need 25? Will it just cut me off at 20? So a lot of questions. So I don't like it. So there you go. What?
I was going to say, that happened to me. Remember one time, well, you weren't with me because you went in the store. We were going out west in Virginia, and we stopped at a Costco. You ran in the store, and it's one of the, Costco, the gas, and they're just pushing the cars through. They're flying through, and there's like 10 lanes of cars, and they have, I think, maybe 2 guys just there running back and forth. If
your supervisors.
Yes, exactly. Yes. My supervisor. I got to tell you, when I pulled up, I think he saw the Jersey plates. He was on me. He goes, you know what you're doing? You need help? What are you doing? You know how to do this? I'm like, yeah, I can do it. He goes, okay, I'll just keep an eye. You want me to go over things with you? And like, the guy in the dueling truck with Virginia plates and it says farm vehicle only who's behind me is like, oh crap, I got a Jersey guy in front of me. He's thinking, if I put in four-wheel drive, can I just push him out of the way?
It's so true. It is so true. I had one guy come up to me one time when I was in Washington, D.C. trying to pump gas. And this was years and years ago. I was in the outskirts. So it was still technically Washington, D.C. I was out by the Arboretum. And this guy was behind me. And I'm like a deer in the headlights and I got to get gas. So I'm like, all right, I can do this. I'm a big girl. Everybody does it everywhere else. I could do this. I didn't even start. And this guy comes up behind me, goes, I used to live in New Jersey. Would you like me to do that for you? I'm like, oh, thank you. He just did it for me.
And Mary, your greatest accomplishment was in the 4 years that you were back and forth to Washington,
Yes.
D.C. Did you
Yes.
ever pump your gas in anywhere?
Never.
No. Why? Because we
Never.
bought a car that has a 600-mile range.
Yes, we bought a car specifically for that purpose so that I could get all the way down to Maryland. I could even drive around, drive to work, do any errands, and then I can make it back to exit 2 off of 295 in South Jersey to the Flying J or as a pilot, whichever. There's one on one side, one on the other, and get my gas. Pump for me. Let's see. Porch View Farm is going to look for the CEO's personal email. It'll give me something to do. Well, thank you so much. Yitzhak, when I was in White Plains in an old Tudor, winter times are about $1,200 a month. Summer about $600 to $700. Florida, $120 a month is high. Yeah, but you got to put a new roof on every year there's a hurricane, which is pretty much every year. So you spend a lot of money in new roofs. Did you hear that Mamdani wants to disband the NYPD task force that responded to the shooting in New York City? Yeah, a lot of his old tweets are coming back to haunt him about wanting to disband the NYPD. But here's the thing. I don't think he cares. And I don't think it's going to hurt him. I think the young kids who support him they don't even know what communism is. They have no clue. They have no clue. Free stuff. It's going to be great, because rich people suck. So when the rich people leave the city and take all their money with them, who's going to pay for your free stuff? That's the problem. But they don't think that far. Like there's no process to think them past the immediate gratification of free stuff. So, yeah, it's not a surprise that he wants to do that. Although I have to tell you, I don't know if more cops would have stopped that shooting. I just don't. There were 2 cops inside. He shot one of them. Boom, right there, dead. That was it. Okay, now what? Would more cops on the streets have stopped that? No, he parked in front, double parked, walked right in. There was no time for anyone to even call 911 when he was on his way in. Nobody picked up the phone and called 911 and go, hey, there's a guy with a long gun, parked his car in the street, just walking right in this building. Nobody called 911 and said that. So Gregory says, after Trump was first elected, I thought that modern polling was dead. I think it is. Rebecca, everything is still too expensive. Gas here in West Virginia is $3.08 a gallon. Meat prices are outrageous. What's it here? It's like 2 something, right?
Costco is $2.87.
$2.87. And they pump it for you. It's the one thing we get in New Jersey. It's the one thing we get. Everything else sucks, but we get that. So I'm keeping it. All right. Porch View says polls are trying to influence the news. Most are fake. Yitzhak says Trump is too bombastic and not weedy enough with details of issues. The superlatives have to end. His trade policies are 10,000% A plus plus plus. His foreign policy is very shaky. Is his foreign policy shaky though? Is it? Pieces breaking out all over. I don't know if it's shaky. I wouldn't go so far as to say that. I wouldn't go that far. Hermit says, could it be that those who are conducting these polls faking the numbers, maybe they're being influenced by Dems via bribes? Would not surprise me. That's somebody we should.
Well, remember that pollster, that woman who basically from the election?
Oh, but what was that, like Idaho or
Yeah.
Iowa? Wasn't it
Iowa?
Like
yeah.
Iowa? It was like a ridiculous poll.
Yeah, and
Yeah, Mangelmush says Republicans and Democrats alike are trying to stonewall Trump. Their cash cows are being sent to slaughter. That's very true. That
Yeah.
is very true. You see who's screaming the loudest? Now you know who's losing the most. Trump is using trade for foreign policy, but ignoring being righteous. He has a job to counter Islam and the commies, not doing well on either. Here's the thing. If they want to, whatever they want to do in their country is fine. And I think that's how Trump feels. We don't want other countries telling us how to run our country. So we shouldn't be telling other countries how to run their countries, right? Like if they want to be full blown communists, have at it. But here's the trade deal, and here's the tariff. Have at it. You know, if you want to run your country by Sharia law, okay, we may not think that it's moral, but they do. And I think we've learned about trying to make everybody a democracy. It didn't work. Not everybody can live that way. Do you think Iran can be a democracy? Afghanistan, these people have been living in like the 3rd century forever in Afghanistan. There's no way. They're tribal. They're always going to be tribal, and you just got to let them exist and figure it out on their own. I don't think it's our job to counter Islam and commies in foreign countries. You can disagree with me. That's fine. Nicholas, great show, you guys. I never believed the polls. Did they poll Democrats? Well, you got to see the breakdown of the poll. That's the thing. Gregory, people seem to forget that gasoline is engineered to explode. Why, yes, it is. Good point. See, and how many people and I'm sure that people put the thing in and then they just get in and drive away and forget about it.
Although, Mary, you did show me that video that gasoline is a theft deterrent.
Oh, yeah. Right. So because I don't have to get out at night when I get gas, I can go to the gas station and feel very safe and secure because the little man is there to pump it for me. And I usually stop at a truck stop too, which I think is a little bit more populated. And so it's a little bit safer. But anyway, so there's this woman and this truck full of valedictorians pulls up next to her, this van, and the valedictorians jump out and they all got masks on and everything. And then they go to take her car. She's pumping the gas. She goes, she just sprayed them with it. How did she do it though? Like she had it because it was spraying like a fire hose. What did she do?
It's under pressure. But it wasn't, she was just shooting across her car. But the best part was, well, one guy fell, she's just spraying him on the ground. And it was I think a minivan that had a sliding door that opened. They started piling in. She's just pointing the hose across her hood, filling the car up with gas. And then she puts it right in the driver's window. It was classic. And she seemed real calm about it. She's just like, oh.
But if one of those guys fired a shot, they all would have been blown sky high, including her.
Yeah, but people like that, they're not carrying guns because it's a hit and run. It's a quick thing.
They were just there to steal the car. But see, don't worry about that in New Jersey.
No.
You never see a story like that in New Jersey. Nobody gets their car stolen at the pump because there's always somebody there pumping it for you. And it's usually like 2 or 3 guys pumping, the bigger gas stations. The smaller ones aren't open at night. The bigger ones on the busier roads will be open all night, but then they're very busy and there's a couple of people there and that type of thing. It's not something that you do.
Remember, we stopped at a gas station in Montana and there wasn't even an attendant there. Remember that one that we're going back to the hotel? We were by the airport.
Is that the place where I got the creamers because we could the grocery store?
No, there was no store. No. This was just a gas station that was on the side of a strip mall, and it was just 2 pumps in the middle of nowhere. The lights were off in the parking lot.
No, and see, I wouldn't get out there.
No, you didn't. I told you, stay in the car and keep it locked.
Yeah, what were you going to do? Catch the bullet in your mouth?
Spray him with gas.
Really, then what?
Spray him with gas.
Yeah, okay. Porchview, I only pay attention to Rasmussen and Barris. You can look at the cross tabs. Yitzhak, I taught my daughter to change tires. I do. I know how to change a tire. She still calls service like my ex. The nails will get ruined. I don't have any nails to ruin. How many gallons? Look on the door inside the manual. Geez, I don't need to know these things yet, Sock, but I can change a tire. So there. Righty tighty, lefty loosey with the lug nuts. So I could do that if I have to. Had one of you jerseys in front of me on the Florida Turnpike today, 75 in the left lane. We go 100 in the left lane down here, but no one signals. Yet nobody signals up here either. And 75 in the left-hand lane. That's about right. It's the right-hand lane that goes 80 in Jersey. Because we're going past all the people who are going slow. Hermit, I think that guy helped you with the gas, wanted to get a date because you're a cute lady. Aw. No, he really didn't want to wait behind me for the gas. He truly did not want to wait behind me for the gas. Yitzhak, the Jersey Democrat governor for candidate for governor, another Mamdani, 100%. Yitzhak, 282 a gallon today. Yeah, but did they pump it for you? Why no? No, they didn't, Yitzhak. Sal, capitalism is a hard sell. Free stuff is easy. Sadly, too many people in New York City are dependent on government supplements, aka free stuff. Lots of Gen Z have lots of debt. Yeah, Gen Z's messed up. Although Trump did win the under 30 vote, but he won the men, not the women, the men. Is it the peace? Is it peace or the art of the deal? And after Trump, they end? I don't know. Depends on the next president that comes in if they choose to maintain the tariffs the way they are. It's global now. Jihad has been trying to take over the world for 1,400 years, and they are here now. That part is true. But clean it up in our country. That's what I want. That's fine. I don't care what you're doing. Everybody else is clean it up in ours. Sharia law sounds like the name of a Perry Mason type series. All right. Mango Mush, Mary, have you been in East Orange? They don't care about gas attendants. They will take his money too. No. Where's Turtleback Zoo? Is that East Orange or West Orange? East Orange?
West. No, it's West Orange, I think.
Right, that's where the skating rink is, right?
Yeah.
That's where my grandparents lived on Pleasant Valley Way. Remember?
Yeah.
My grandparents lived on Pleasant Valley Way near the school and the Dairy Queen, right down from Eagle Rock Road.
Isn't it Eagle Rock Park?
Well, no. What was the big hill that came down onto Pleasant Valley Way, and then you made a right, and my grandparents' house was on the right hand side on Pleasant Valley Way, and then further down was
over 30 years ago is when we lived up there.
Turtleback Zoo. Yeah, I can't remember anything from yesterday, but this stuff, I'm telling you, Alzheimer's. Right here, it's happening. Yeah, I don't know. Manglemush is if you know where that is in East Orange or West Orange. The skating rink. What is Mountain Arena? Mountain something? Arena.
East Mountain.
Yeah. Porch View Farm, we have very well trained large German Shepherd dogs and English Mastiff. Nobody approaches mommy. The Beagle dog is not as frightening, but she tries. Yitzhak says, I pack. Okay, well, you're in Florida. Oreo, one day gas is 283, the next it's 319. Fluctuates like the stock market. Can some make up their minds? Yeah, well, I'll still take the 283. Pumped for me. So, all right. Last one. Sal says, Ma'am Danny wants to defend NYPD, yet he's in Uganda being protected by a heavily armed police military unit. Interesting. That's always the way. They're above the law. Didn't you see the article that came out about his wedding? It was like this huge, lavish thing. Is that where he is now? Is that when the wedding is now? Is that happening now? Is that why he's there? That may be why he's there now. Let me look that up. It's like this insane wedding that he had. Mamdani wedding. Oh yeah, in Uganda. That's where he is right now, at a secluded compound complete with phone jamming system and armed guards. A lavish 3-day affair at his family's secluded Ugandan compound, complete with masked security guards and a cell phone jamming system. The compound sits in the wealthy Buziga Hill area outside the capital of Kampala, were heavily guarded by military-style masked men this week, with guests streaming in and partying until midnight. He eloped with artist and animator Rama Duwaji, who's 27, he's 33. He was heading to his homeland to celebrate with his wealthy filmmaker mom and professor dad, who owned the property. They also owned the property that he lives in Chelsea, in New York, which is a couple $1 million. He lives very well off mommy and daddy. The neighborhood is home to some of Uganda's richest, including billionaire businessman Godfrey blah, 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 a city tycoon with stakes in real estate, tourism, petroleum, and infrastructure. Houses neighboring the Mandamis easily fetch more than $1 million, which in Uganda is a big deal. It's set back from the road. It sits on 2 acres of lush gardens surrounded by trees, has breathtaking panoramic views of Lake Victoria, and features at least 3 security gates. It was transformed into a party pad with Christmas lights strung in the canopy of the trees in the garden, blaring music. On Tuesday, buses, several Mercedes, and a Range Rover 4 were seen driving around the compound. Security was extremely tight. There were more than 20 Special Forces Command Unit guards, some in masks. There was a phone jamming setup, all for the invite-only Mamdani event. One gate had 9 guards around it. Wow. His parents live in the estate, but split their time between New York and New Delhi. Wow. Thank you for bringing that up, Hermit. What kind of military unit is he connected to? Are they with him in the US? I don't know. Mamdani is private security, now police, military. Well, this looks like government. It looks like government does is government style security in Uganda. Hermit says this is a fun live stream. We're all over. This is like ADD podcasting. Yes, go ahead, honey.
South Mountain Arena.
South Mountain Arena. Thank you. Did somebody put that up?
No, I looked it up. I didn't remember it. It's at Turtleback Zoo.
Right, by Turtleback Zoo, which I did get to ride a turtle. I was like 3 and I got to ride a turtle. Maybe I was a little bit older. You can't ride the turtles anymore because some lady got bit by one, remember?
Yeah.
Remember some lady got bit by turtles? You couldn't ride the turtles anymore. Yitzhak says Mamdani's wedding was at the Idi Amin Memorial Palace compound. Yitzhak, Mamdani is a jihadi. Trust me on this. They are here now and they are taking over slowly but surely. Have you seen that guy is it Michigan, Wisconsin? Have you seen that guy? That guy who looks like, okay, I'm going to try not to be mean here, but am I the only person who sees that guy? Who is it? Oh, what's his name? Who's taken over, who's running in Michigan? Where is Ilhan Omar from? Right? Somali candidate. Let me just put that in and look it up. Somali candidate. Oh, here it is. They're calling Mandami Mentum. Okay. And his name, Senator Omar Fattah, who's running for the mayor of Minneapolis. Have you seen this dude? Okay. So do you remember? I can't get the picture out of my head, and neither will you after I tell you this. Okay. So do you remember in Beetlejuice when they go to get help and the lady who's at the front desk, because she committed suicide, so the smoke comes out her throat, remember when they're in there? And there's a guy sitting next to her who had his head shrunk and he's looking over and he's got the really big eye. And he keeps looking. Remember him? Do you remember that guy who was sitting next to the Allie, whatever her name was, the main character, right? And she's like, he's got the big eyes. That's who he looks like. That's who he looks like. He's got the really big eyes and like his head is like really big cheekbones and comes in really tight. It's unfortunate, but he definitely looks like that. I don't mean to be unkind, but it's not a good look. And I'm beginning to learn like that's like the Somali look. Like, like Italians look Italian, Germans, this is kind of what their look is like. They have very big eyes, which is not necessarily a bad thing. For him, it's unfortunate, but not for everybody. Anyway, Minnesota with the weird head. Yes, he's got a weird shaped head. You got to look it up now. Omar Fattah is a Minnesota state senator. He looks like the Somali pirate dude from that movie. Sugar Valley Caroline. Yes, very scary looking guy. Thank you. Shrunken head dude. Yes, see? I remember that scene in Beetlejuice. I'm telling you, once you see it, you can't unsee it anymore. He looks like the man from Captain Phillips. They both have really white teeth. Yeah, they have really white teeth. The candidate, the odd looking dude. Yes, that is him. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. We were all over the place, and that's just fine. When we have these just us conversations, we kind of tend to go all over the place, and that's okay. So next week, I don't know who's going to be on next week. I haven't thought that far ahead, but I will, and I'll figure it out. And of course, I always take your suggestions. Thank you to the IT department for joining me. That was very nice of you to do. You didn't have to do that, but thank you for doing it. I'll keep you for another week. All right.
Okay. Thank you. Or at least until the internet works well, right?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, watching your back says you need to do more of this. Mango Mush says take care. Evie says bye-bye, Queen. Bye-bye, IT department. Yitzhak Fun Show. Thanks. Thank you, everyone. Have a great week. Don't forget I'm in for Rob Carson the rest of this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm in for Wendy Bell on the Wendy Bell Show. Yay to the Wendy Bell Army. Thank you so much. Don't forget to please subscribe. Please like the podcast. I appreciate it. And next Monday, I'll be on with Chris Salcedo on Newsmax TV between 4 and 5 p.m. Tuesday, we'll be back on the podcast. All right. And then I leave. So then there's no podcast for 2 weeks. But thank you so much. And don't forget, the audio is available on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and Spreaker. See you in the morning, Brock and Stag from Sugar Valley, Caroline. All right. And I'll see you guys all next week. God bless.
Goodbye to EB and Zach.
That's right. Goodbye to EB and Zach as well. Goodbye, everybody. God bless. Thank you so much for joining me.